Hi everyone, Joy here, and today's video is going to be about polyamory, as you might be able to tell from the lovely flag behind me. Yes, for those of you that don't already know, this is what the polyamorous flag looks like. So, basically this is a topic that I haven't really gone in depth with yet, but it's not exactly a secret either. It's just I've been meaning to get around to it, and then other stuff just sort of happens. So, I am polyamorous, among other things, and oh good lord, dating is not easy. Dating for me is not easy. Dating for anyone is not easy, but with me I've got so many added layers of complicated, I forget what easy is. So I briefly mentioned that I am polyamorous in one of my really earliest videos, and that's going back nearly 3 years. So let's just sort of recant the whole thing and go through like what that means for me. Polyamory is, for me, the ability, the capability that I have to be romantically and sexually interested in more than one person at the same time. That's really it. And that's pretty much a textbook definition of what it means. So, for me, I figured this out, well, I've never been really that good at monogamy to begin with. I have cheated in the past. I don't particularly like that about myself, but hey, what are your 20s for except do dumb things, make mistakes, learn from them later, right? What I have liked, though, is being free to date and to do the sex with whomever I please, with or without, strings attached. So after a relationship I had ended when I was 22, I spent almost this long 10-year gap of not being involved in any relationships. And, just seeing whomever I pleased, as I previously just stated. And then, after I moved to Taunton, I met someone, we got along great, we ended up starting dating, we dated for just over a year, but something was missing from this relationship. And this was a perfectly nice guy, nothing, wrong, no issues, no possessiveness problems, very supportive, shared interests, great stuff, but something was just missing. And it's because that relationship was, I was committing to being monogamous when I was craving something else, and that something else was the ability to see other people as well. It's not that I wasn't interested in the first person, it's just I came across some people meeting for a date, a hookup, whatever it was. I just happened to be there at the time, about 10 feet away or so. And that's what I realized I was missing, was just meeting other people and doing things with other people. But because this person I was with wasn't polyamorous, was very into the whole monogamy thing, that relationship had to end. I did what I had to do. I had to come clean. I had to explain my feelings and everything, and we split up on pretty good terms, and we are still on good terms with each other. I mean, the whole pandemic thing means we haven't actually seen each other properly in a year, but you know, we're still on good terms. So I know what you're thinking. Is this just a sex thing? Well, sorry to disappoint you, but no. Look, interacting with multiple partners on many different personal levels is just something that I need. It is not necessarily a sex thing. Intimacy comes from many different avenues that aren't sex. But that is one of the factors involved, not gonna lie. One of the problems that I have run into since coming out as poly is, well, a poly relationship is a lot like a monogamous relationship. Communication is key. So I'm involved with someone who is also poly, who also has other partners as well, and I'm free to see like other people. And the reason you haven't seen my partner on this channel is because they're just not interested in the whole YouTube thing. I'm not like deliberately hiding anybody away or anything like that. It's just not their thing. But I may end up with a partner in the future who is interested. Wait and see what happens. Without going into too much personal detail, because this story is not mine alone to tell, things happened one day and one of the people in the polycule got hurt feelings, or felt like they were being left out, and that caused quite an issue for everyone because no one really wanted to hurt anybody else. I wish I could go into more details, but I can't. Suffice it to say that being honest about your feelings is really, really important in order to prevent things like jealousy, because jealousy can in fact happen in a poly relationship. Poly doesn't mean being free to do whatever with whomever. It means being free to see other people within the confines and boundaries that everyone within the polycule, within the relationships, have set up and agreed to. Which means that cheating is in fact quite possible. The other thing I want to mention here is that while jealousy and cheating are in fact still possible, there is something that's possible in a poly relationship that is impossible in a monogamous relationship, and that thing is called compersion. Now that is the feeling of being happy for a partner because they are seeing another partner, if they've had a particularly good date or whatever. Okay, so the flag. I don't actually know what the colours stand for. All I know is that the pi symbol stands for poly, because poly is a Greek word and pi is the first Greek letter in that word. It is not, however, the reason that I got the pi symbol tattooed on my finger. That's just a happy coincidence. The real reason for this is basically I wanted an infinity symbol, but I didn't want an infinity symbol, you know? I didn't want to be one of those basic bitches who has an infinity symbol. Minimal throwing of shade there, sorry. But when you express pi as an actual sort of figure, it goes on forever. The decimal numbers go on forever. That's infinity, because, you know, that it's an irrational number, and it goes on forever, and that's, you know, my weird mathological way of having an infinity symbol. But now that I know that it also does stand for poly, let's just say I'm not upset by it. Oh my goddess, that feels better. I don't know what was happening. I was just feeling too normal, you know? It's almost as if being polyamorous and queer and gay and trans and non-binary doesn't automatically make you into a hideous freak. Like, what? So I have to bring the freak myself. So here's the fun part of the video for you, the Q&A section. Now I actually spliced together two sets of questions for this because I found two that overlapped a lot. So I just thought I'd merge the two lists together and see what happens. So, question the first. Isn't it just cheating by another name? No. As I've already mentioned, within polyamory, cheating can still happen because cheating is breaking the rules. Now, in a monogamous relationship, breaking the rules is doing stuff with somebody else. In a polyamorous relationship, it's doing stuff with somebody else that isn't already prior agreed to per your rules, per your own sort of set of restrictions and things, which need to be negotiated because what one person is okay with is not necessarily the same for another person. That is just life. How do you do it? I'm way too in love to do that. Wow. That kind of implies that poly people aren't in love. Like, you realize that it's about being able to have romantic experiences with more than one person. It's not just about non-monogamous sex. The implication there that poly people don't fall in love with their partners is kind of insulting, really. And, well, poly people just are able to love more than one person at the same time. Maybe in different ways, but it could still be classified as romantic love. Who's your primary or favorite partner? Well, Karen, who's your favorite primary child? Like, do you have a favorite child? You probably shouldn't, is the answer to that. Like, some people do have primary partners, but that's not a necessary requirement of being poly, and it certainly doesn't devalue their other partners. But don't ask. That's you know, a lot of people won't have that, don't need that. Like, you just have different sets of feelings, or like, you value someone, you in a relationship for certain things, and you value this person and for other things, and you know, it's not about better or worse. Do you have sex like all the time? No, of course not. Who does? Like, polyamory doesn't mean doing sex all the time. You've got to go to the shops, you've got to clean the house, you've got to, you know, go to work, you've got to go to sleep. You know, there's more to dating than just sex, if you don't already know that. Oh dear, like, you've been on some bad dates. Like, go explore more, go to the cinema, go to, you know, bowling, go to the arcades, when those things are open. You know, when it's safe to do so. Jesus Christ. And no, I don't do sex all the time. I don't do sex nearly as much as I would like to, actually. But that's just because my partner lives about 100 miles that direction. Is this a Mormon or religious thing? So, no. Do I look fucking Mormon to you? No, it is not a religious thing. It is just I am inclined to want to be with multiple people, multiple partners at the same time. It is not a religious thing. In fact, I think that doing such things religiously kind of forces the issue, which you shouldn't do. Like, if somebody is monogamous, truly in their heart of hearts, they shouldn't be made by some external religious belief system telling them, oh, you must be okay with your husband having another wife and another wife and another wife. You know? On the other hand, it's nice that there are religions out there that are okay with it, but this is definitely not a religious thing. This is just a personal thing for me, you know. And hey, if somebody within that religion is poly, great, but again, shouldn't really be forced onto other people. Like, really needs to be just an open thing, like an open communication thing. Like, let's talk about this, let's discuss this. I'm poly, are you open to that relationship prospect? Yay, nay. If not, you know, don't get forced into it. Just like other religions force monogamy onto people who might not be into that, and that's, you know, also pretty harmful. It's I haven't seen religions do much good in the world. Like, I'm not a religious person, and if I was, my religion would probably be Satanism, which is a kind of do what you want sort of religion anyway. Definitely not Mormon. Aren't you scared of STIs? Well, anyone who is promiscuous needs to be cautious about STIs, right? It's, you know, not just poly people who don't practice non-monogamy or anything, but no, I'm not worried. You know why? Because I have good habits of getting checked often, of doing safe sex. You know? Like, it's not that difficult. It's not a happy, fun thing or easy thing to talk to your partners about, but you have to say, oh, I'm getting checked on blah 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 day or such and such. We should probably use some protection here because, you know, I've been with X and Y people, you know, that sort of thing. It's no different from someone who's like not necessarily poly, but still promiscuous. Also, if you are having only sex within your relationship and you know that all of your partners are like free of STDs, then you don't need to worry about it either, because if nobody is sleeping with anybody outside that polycule and everyone's already been tested and already got the all clear, then there's nothing to worry about. What if your partner falls in love with someone else? Great, cool, awesome, yet another member for the polycule. I keep saying that word. I do need to explain that that is the poly version of a couple. It's the same thing but with more people in it, essentially. Obviously, if you don't get along with that person, then that causes issues. But that's pretty much the same as if they have a friend who, you know, gets on your nerves, rubs you the wrong way, sort of thing. Like, you need to talk about that. Generally, on the whole, like, if your partner has, you know, goes on dates with other people, generally speaking, that's great. Because you should be able to talk about that. And if you don't feel okay with that, you're probably not poly. Like, my partner has 2 other partners, and one of them has another partner, and it kind of gets a bit complicated from there. Generally speaking, it's a good thing. Like, why wouldn't it be? It also means that I'm free to date other people as well, which is what I want. That's the agreement. Of course, I am saying this and also saying, like, from my point of view, because everyone's relationships are different, you know. Like, don't you get jealous? Well, yeah, jealousy can sometimes happen in poly relationships, just like any other relationships. Like I said before, it's only when somebody is being dishonest that really sort of becomes an issue, though. Or not even like deliberately being dishonest. Like the example I gave earlier, it was somebody wasn't in tune with their own feelings. And that's what caused problems. But yeah, jealousy can happen. For me, it happens if one partner is with somebody else but doesn't want to spend time with me. Like, that then triggers feelings of jealousy and like, well, what's wrong with me then if you don't want to spend time with me? Like, are we together or not? You know? If you're with that other person on, you know, that Saturday, and then you're with me on the next Saturday, that's fine. What happens if 2 partners need you at the same time? Well, first I would have to have 2 partners. But I mean, it's not likely because, like I said, my partner lives, you know, kind of far away, and I am seeing other people at the moment. But you know, how do you delegate your time? Basically, is the answer to that one. Like, how would you delegate your time between 2 friends in need? You just say, oh, hang on, such and such person is also in need. They've got a bigger problem. Like, their pipes burst, your roof's caved in. You know, I'll get to you as soon as I can, sort of thing. Don't you get confused about who likes what? No. Like, I treat all... Like, you treat your friends with the same sort of dignity and respect as to treat them as individuals with their own personal wants and needs and everything. And why wouldn't you do the same thing for your partners? Like, although, to be fair, like, one of the people I'm dating and my partner actually do have a lot of similar interests. So there's that. I may have a type. Isn't it a hassle remembering birthdays and anniversaries? Again, you do the same thing for your friends and family, right? Like, I generally don't bother too much with birthdays and anniversaries and things anyway, though. But it's just the same thing as doing it for friends and family. You just, if you need help, you've got phones. They have calendars in them. They can tell you everything about your life, even stuff that you didn't even know. You know, it's just not an issue. Have you ever called your partners the wrong name? Have you ever called your friends the wrong name? Like, again, it's the same sort of situation. Friends, siblings, parents, like everything. Like, I mean, sometimes you call a teacher mum in school. Like, maybe that happens once or twice in your lifetime, but no, like... Oh, here's a juicy question. Who's better in bed? And the answer is none of your fucking business. do people think it's okay to ask that? Like, you wanna find out? Fucking join in, you know? You don't want to do that? Fuck off. Do not ask about sex lives. Even if I had a partner who was better than another partner, I wouldn't tell you. And sometimes you get people who are into a certain thing sexually that and a different partner is into a different thing sexually. That's not better or worse. Who will you have kids with? No one. Simple as that. I don't want the little brats. But if I did, again, it would be none of your fucking business. It would be between us, the people involved in the relationship, the polycule, and you know, that's it. Like, it is not an issue that you need to worry about or deal with. All you need to know and worry about is the child getting the care, love, and attention that they need? And with more parents, probably going to be yes. Probably going to be, like, statistically, you're more likely to stumble upon a good parent if you've got lots of parents to choose from. You'll stop when you settle down, right? No. Coming out as poly gives me the freedom to be able to settle down with someone who is the same way inclined and not worry about, oh shit, I'm missing out on all this other stuff, these other people, these other connections that I want from life. Like, and yeah, maybe some people do settle down with one partner and have other partners as well. But it's really more about circumstance than like anything else. And certainly doesn't indicate wanting to stop being polyamorous. Like, it's not a thing you can turn on and off. It's not a thing you can choose. Just like any other aspect of your sexuality, you just can't do it, you know? It's you don't wake up one day and say, right, yeah, I'm gonna be a bisexual, polyamorous slut because they get the best fucking treatment ever. Like, first of all, no, that doesn't happen. And second of all, it just... Even if you could choose that, you probably wouldn't want to because of all the stigma involved. But yeah, like, settling down is more of an option because of polyamory. So why would you even want that to stop? Why would you want to stop, like, cut off that part of yourself if and when settling down? Like, do you... Oh god, this question. Do you have orgies? Oh. Well, I would like to say yes. The truth is, I have not had enough group sex in my life. But, again, none of your fucking business. Unless you want to join in, you don't get to ask that kind of question, you know? And what happens between me and my partner, my other partner, partner's partner, you know, that's between us. And I'll be completely frankly honest here. It happens for poly people about as much as it does for non-poly people who are just single and do, you know, wild sex. It's not that sort of, you know, thing that it would be as frequent as you might think. And especially for me, with my partner living so far away, Like, yeah, right. Oh, and the last question, I don't think I could do that. Well, okay, that probably means you're not poly. Good for you. Like, being monogamous is okay. Being poly is okay. Being monogamous is okay. Like, it's fine. You don't have to. Please don't be forced into it if it's not right for you, but like, it's not about you. If you want to learn about poly people and how we live and everything, great. To like find out more stuff about you, that's great. But if you feel deep down in your heart of hearts that it's not for you, okay, don't do it. That's literally it. Okay, everyone, I hope you've learned something very insightful, special, wonderful, knowledgeable, or just, you know, enjoyed the prying into my life. Either or. But that's been part 2 of the Identity series. Parts 3 and 4 coming very soon. And I'll see you then. Polyamory is valid. God damn it. Bye. Here's the point where we have the fun part of the video. Oh God. This track is fucking moving. Aww. Yeah, black was a real good fucking idea.